Earthquakes don't discriminate. They strike grassy fields and major cities with the same brutal force. Today, around 600 million people live in areas where damaging earthquakes occur. Since scientists can't stop quakes or even predict them, they're working on ways to make sure people survive them. The best way to do that is to keep structures intact. One major city prone to earthquakes is San Francisco. In October 1989, the Loma Prieta earthquake stopped the Bay Area in its tracks. It measured 7.1 on the Richter scale. The damage was extensive. Like all quakes, damage was caused by the shaking of the ground as waves of energy traveled through it. Tremors sent vibrations through buildings and bridges, sometimes crumbling them to pieces. But the Loma Prieta quake did more than shake the ground. It was a wake-up call for engineers to retrofit all of the buildings and bridges in the area. Seismic retrofitting is a fancy way of saying making structures stronger for the next big one, making them stronger while still allowing them to move. As engineer Chuck Syme explains, some movement is vital for a structure's survival.
If you've ever driven across a long-span bridge, like the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge, and traffic causes you to stop, and you sit in your car and you can actually feel yourself being bumped up and down in the car itself. And that's what we're feeling is the elasticity of the bridge. I call it the heartbeat of the bridge, because if the bridge is not beating elastically, it's failing. And a good rule of thumb is, if it stops beating, get off the bridge. It's no longer alive.
As bridges and buildings move, they absorb the energy of a quake. These days, engineers rely on computers to figure out how much movement is too much. High-tech systems show them where failures might occur and help them design against disaster. In the Bay Area, famous landmarks like the Golden Gate Bridge and the Bay Bridge are now being retrofitted or strengthened. On these bridges, rivets are being replaced by high-strength bolts. Steel plates are added to the towers. And the bases of most bridges are getting additional support. We now know that many lives are lost during earthquakes, not because of the quakes themselves, but because structures could not withstand them. Engineers hope their earthquake-proofing efforts will ultimately save lives.